This week we're going cover to cover of The Wedding People by Alison Espach. I'm Sarah Lyles.
And I'm Jamie Livingston, and we are So Approachable. This was an interesting read. What do you think?
It was not what I expected.
Agreed. 100% not what I thought was going to be on those pages.
No, I actually, when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be like a romance of some sort. It kind of was, but not at all what I thought.
Not anything that I feel like we needed to put a chili pepper rating on. And I'm kind of surprised that we didn't do that in our TLDR episode because I did think it was more of a romance.
Yes. Yeah, it's got some trigger warnings.
Yes, we do have a lot of heavy topics in this. So before we get into it, if you did not read this book, just be advised. Our conversation may stray into some adult themes and topics like infertility, pregnancy loss, depression, suicide. You realize that the second you get into this book. It does handle those in a very interesting and unique way.
Yes, very weird. Like I think I was saying darkly humorous.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that's a great way to go about it. Like I thought she handled it well.
Yeah.
In a weird sort of way.
Yes. Yeah, like after thinking about this book and kind of digesting it, thinking of when we were doing just our TLDR till now, going, what did I just read? Like, wow, that was so heavy and relatable in some ways.
Wait a sec. Oh, I thought that was one of my words. What are your 3 words for this book?
Oh, they are messy, resilient, and introspective. What are yours?
Oh, messy is a good one. Yes. I have deep. I thought heavy was one of my words. Deep, complex, and unique.
All true.
Right.
Yes.
And I think I really did appreciate that this was a book that was addressing some of these topics. And I think a lot of times it comes across as taboo and like you can't talk about it. So I think the fact that it was addressed with dark humor made it okay.
Right. And I liked the way that she wrote it to where it wasn't like it was bogging you down with a lot of the heavy scenes, but it was like, hey, this is what it is. And so I liked that part of it.
Okay, so let's talk about some of our characters. I think we can hop in. What do we think about Phoebe Stone?
I mean, you meet her quickly and rapidly, and you see what she's all about right away. I mean, I liked her. Did you like her?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, I liked her.
Yeah.
She was an interesting person. I liked that she was a smart person and that she was, what is the word I'm looking for? A studious person. She was a professor or an adjunct professor. So she was very learned, and I've talked about it before. I think my favorite book is Jane Eyre, and she referenced that book left and right and all over the place. And so from the very beginning, I was like, ooh, I like this lady. She likes Jane Eyre. That was her big topic of research, and she was comparing it. And so there are kind of comparisons throughout the entire book to that one. So that kind of stole my heart from the beginning. She was an interesting character, though.
Yes, she was interesting. What about Lila, the bride-to-be?
I thought she was interesting as well. I feel like I need to come up with some better adjectives here, but she just knew what she wanted and was going to get it. And she's one of those people that you love to hate, maybe. And I did think it was really interesting the way that the people interacted with her, because she was the bride. She was clearly a bridezilla and wanted everything to be absolutely perfect for her wedding. We don't blame her. You've already confessed that you were a bridezilla as well. Yeah. So there's no harm in that, but it was also the fact that Phoebe was the only person that told her that she had some food in her teeth. I was like, now that is the sign of a nice person. Like, even if the people around you who actually know and love you or say that they do aren't going to tell you that you have food in your teeth, nah.
No.
They're not standing in my wedding.
No. I mean, at first, when I first got introduced to her, I felt like she was like the attitude of entitled. kind of that like, oh, this is all for me, and this is kind of, you're going to do what I want you to do. As her story unfolded, I started to get that sense of sympathy for her, kind of what she was doing. She had all this money that was, as you learn, like her father's money, that they wanted this big wedding. And so there was a deeper side of her that you got to see. But I felt bad because nobody really was there for her. Like, she was basically her fiance's like wing, just her side.
Yeah, I don't think that she opened up to allow anybody to be there for her.
True.
Like, she shut everything down and had her own walls up. So I kind of feel like that's on her. And so I think it's fun that you kind of came around to her, and I was kind of like, I think you're still pretty entitled. And you are not entitled to this nice man.
I mean, all right, so that nice man, so Matt.
Did you see? Oh, no.
We'll get not to Matt.
He's not a nice man. Gary. Did you see that coming?
Which part? Gary?
Yeah, that Gary was the man in the hot tub.
No.
I did.
You did? Oh,
yes.
I'm proud of you.
I had it in my notes. Man in hot tub, the groom. Like, that was the fact that they didn't say the names, and like it was, of course, sparks are flying, and I was like, oh no. Oh no, from the very beginning. So I felt very validated when it was the groom.
I mean, I loved that he was such a gentleman. Like, he was kind, and even when she was forward with him, he just kind of gently let her know that, it was like so nice. Like you were saying, he's getting ready to marry this entitled woman, and it's sad.
Maybe we should talk about the biggest twist, which we didn't really know going into this book, is that Phoebe is suicidal.
Right.
And that the whole reason that she showed up at this quaint inn, or whatever we want to call it, hotel, in her fancy green dress and gold heels, was that was the outfit she was going to die in, and she was there to end her life, which is not what we saw coming at all. And I'm surprised in the reviews and in anything that we looked up beforehand that didn't come up.
I don't remember reading anything about suicide at all. Like, maybe I did. I don't think I did.
I feel like maybe my 1-star review that said something about taking a shot every time Phoebe talks about COVID, I think it maybe said that she was depressed as well. So we knew that she was depressed, but not that she was actually coming to end things.
Yeah.
So the fact that she felt the freedom to just tell people that she was about to kill herself. What did you think about that? Is that realistic? Is that, like, believable?
I mean, you got to imagine, like, someone who is done with life, right? You're done. You don't care. You know nobody at this, what she comes to find out at a wedding. Like, how insane that she comes to find a wedding, and then she's the only stranger there.
Right. They bought out the entire place.
Yes. And so that whole thing made me be like, wow, she doesn't care, because she's never going to see them, and she's just going to be like, a blip in the wind. She's just going to end her life. She doesn't care, so she feels free to say whatever and do whatever. And so it seemed a little bit freeing. Like, okay, I'm just going to tell you what I think, tell you how I feel.
So what did you think about Lila and Phoebe's connection right at the beginning, and the fact that they do keep running into each other, and that Lila is adamant that Phoebe will not kill herself and will not ruin her wedding, and how that comes full circle at the end, and that Lila was really just looking for something to ruin her wedding?
I liked that it was like, came full circle. I will say I loved the part when they're in the elevator and Phoebe's like trying to shut the elevator, like push the button for the door to close, and she puts her hand in there, and of course she gets cut, she gets blood on her dress. But I'm like, oh man, she's just trying to get away from the one super entitled person and just go up to her room, take her cat pills, and just end her life in peace.
Yeah. The methodology there, like getting her room service and then room service not being a thing, like her plans just went out the window. And it was a rash plan.
Yes.
I mean, it was a last minute. I mean, her pet died, and that kind of put her over the edge. And
in the basement.
Right. It was really sad. So maybe we talk about some of Phoebe's trauma leading up to this. I want to be delicate about it, but it's also the dark humor here that I think it's opening up an avenue for these conversations to take place. We talked about how this talked about infertility, and she went through IVF multiple cycles and really struggled with wanting to be a mom and wanting to provide a child for her husband and how that would change their relationship. And I think that, again, in our day and age, in our society, it tends to be taboo, or people don't feel like they can talk about those things. And so Phoebe had bottled a lot of that up inside. And that is really hard. And so I think that we need to do a better job of supporting the women around us through that, through miscarriage, through infertility. There is a lot going on there. I thought there was a really good piece of advice in there. She said she regretted not getting excited for pregnancy at first until it was too late, too early to get excited. Like, I remember when I was pregnant, like, you want to get excited and you want to tell the world, but society says you can't tell anybody until you're at least past the first trimester. But so many people experience loss before that, and they haven't had a chance to, like, share their joy with anybody. So now they don't have the freedom to share their grief.
Right.
And so there's just this really hard balance that why? Why do we do that?
I don't know. And I don't know why so often I see women, and yes, I feel like I'm probably one of them that like holds that in because you want to be strong. Like, I got to just be strong and keep going for the things that are in my life. I've just got to be okay with it. But it becomes so unhealthy. And as we see with Phoebe, it is unhealthy that pushes her to a point. And like that thought of, it's going to change my marriage if I have a kid. Like, it's going to change everything and make things better. And really all she's doing is just pushing herself in a deeper hole of doom, of feeling of like, I'm alone, I can't do this. And it's sad.
Well, and I know that there's shame associated with it, and the fact that my body isn't doing what it was meant to do.
Right.
Why me? And then her husband goes and has an affair with someone who has a baby and can provide that for him. And so it was just like this dagger to your heart, like seeing her struggle through that, and for him to leave her for that situation was just, ugh.
And why women feel shameful, right? Like, I think, again, society makes them feel shameful. All of our bodies have things that we can or cannot do, right? And that shouldn't be shameful. Like, a mom that nurses and doesn't nurse, there's no shame in it. And it's just who we are and knowing how to adapt. There's so many amazing things that weren't introduced that Phoebe could have maybe done to kind of pull into her marriage. But I think also a lot of it has to do with Matt, the man he was, what he was looking for, and what Phoebe couldn't provide for him. It was almost like she was in a lose-lose situation.
Yep. And then he comes back at the very end trying to like win her back, and I just wanted to punch him.
Why do you think he came? Because he never came any other time. Like, why?
That's a great question. I think because she didn't answer him. She didn't deign to give him a response, and she always had. I mean, I don't think he reached out at all during any of that time. Also, broke up with her and like requested a divorce over Zoom.
I know, what a loser.
Ugh, the pandemic. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, I just think about that. I'm like, Matt, come on, do better. I felt so heavy and sad for Phoebe in those moments because, like we're saying, there's so many heavy things in this book and so much loss, not just the infertility, but the loss of like her spouse, the loss of her
A long-term
marriage.
relationship.
Yes. And so not to say like, no wonder she's suicidal, but no wonder she's having thoughts of, I can't do this anymore. In my, thoughts of like, suicide is obviously not the answer.
Right.
There's a lot of better choices. And I'm glad to know that the book turns around and to where she doesn't and finds better hope. And it's really beautiful. But to go through that heaviness, it's unfortunate that women do it all the time.
Yes, it is. I was nervous as I was reading this book, and I think you had said you kind of got bogged down in the middle as well, but I got to the point where I was nervous that she had expressed so much that she hated the fact that her husband cheated and it was devastating, and then she starts to have feelings for this man who's about to get married. And I was like, please don't cheat with the groom. Please don't cheat with the groom. Please don't cheat with the groom. Like, I know, like, that's what this is leading up to. Please don't. Like, if you do, I'm closing this book. Like, that's not
I know. You've
where
said, I'm tired of these cheaters. Like,
right. And so I really loved that they held the line. And that she was able to have, like, their surfing day and a couple sweet moments. This was also an interesting perspective as a stepmom because Phoebe was kind of playing like the cool aunt, which is kind of the stepmom role, or what people think of as the stepmom role is that we're just kind of the extra person. And so you saw the dynamic between Juice, which is hilarious, and Lila, and like that was not what would be ideal as a stepmom. Like that was the very strained vibes, but that's also a preteen girl going through the loss of her mother and being thrown into this new situation.
Right.
But I loved watching Phoebe deal with her or handle her and her emotions and her dead robot dog
her
or whatever
pet.
it was,
Yes.
Tamagotchi at that point. Like
Oh, I forgot about those, but yeah.
Furby, I don't know, whatever.
Plastic. Don't put
Yes.
plastic in the ocean.
No, can't do that. But like letting her grieve and coming
Yes.
alongside her. And I think we kind of talked about how Phoebe had this freedom to say whatever the heck she wanted because she didn't know any of them.
Nope.
And she didn't plan on going home. So like there wasn't anything to lose in any of those conversations. So she did offer advice and she did offer her perspective very candidly and frankly. And I think she was very wise.
Yeah, I agree. I think she was. I think she did. I loved watching Phoebe and Juice interact. It was so sweet. Like even just towards the end, you saw her understand her loss because again, I think Phoebe and her connected in we're both grieving in a different way. So I should say Phoebe more so, like, let me just come alongside this young girl that's hurting.
Well, and Phoebe didn't have a mom.
Yeah.
And so it was a unique perspective
Yes.
to offer of like, yeah, you know what? I turned out okay, kind of. We're here. It's fine. Like, you'll get over it. Not get over it, but like, you'll get past it.
Right.
You'll be able to move on. And Lila hadn't even come to grips with any of that. And it was really hard that Lila made both Gary and Juice and everybody else in the family not talk about his ex-wife. Like they just shut down because she shut down whenever she was brought up,
Right.
which is realistic. I mean, that is a really hard thing for the new person coming in to deal with.
Yeah.
Like there is history. There is a whole nother life that was lived without you. And so that's like the stepmom perspective. I know there's a lot of stories that I don't know because I wasn't around for. That's still the case. Like that doesn't ever go away. And so I don't think that would have been a good life for them to live together, for Juice to not be able to reminisce or try to remember her mom, and like for that to just always be shut down and not even an option. I mean, I'm glad that the wedding was called off.
Well, yes. I mean, because again, Lila was so worried about Lila that Lila didn't want to hear about another woman. And so, I mean, you saw that a lot throughout this book.
What'd you think about Jim?
See, these are the parts where I'm like, he was a blip in the wind. Because like I said, it was a lot of bog down in the center to where I was like, I don't think I can finish this book.
There were so many Jims. Like, she just kept saying, like, everybody is named Jim. And so I think the first time that Jim came up.
Is it Uncle Jim?
There's Uncle Jim.
The one that
there's,
fell? I
think there's an old one and a young one. And, like, so I was picturing the wrong Jim. Like, I was picturing, like, a gross uncle that was hitting on everybody. But I think that was actually the young Jim that Lila actually liked. And so I think I misplaced my Jims somewhere along the way. But I did come to like him.
Right. Was that the one where Lila had met?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's the person that
Gary and him, Jim, were together when they first met.
Right.
Yes.
Gary was supposed to be his wingman for him to go and hit on Lila in the art gallery. And then he's the one that ended up getting the phone number.
Right.
And
yeah.
Because he ended up being his...
The doctor.
Yes, the doctor, yeah.
I think it was her dad's doctor.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Trying to get his dad to survive cancer and didn't, and whew.
Yeah, well, it was. I love that he was, like, so honest with things, but I'm like, why did you not tell her this sooner?
Well, right. You just let this go on and on and on and on. What about his best man speech? Do you remember that?
I do, and I loved that, and I also loved Phoebe's honor speech. I was like, come on, can you guys really read these, like, right now? Like, read them to them. And so I thought they were really honest.
Right.
Yes.
I liked Jim's because he was honest about the fact that, and I think it was a cloaked message, because I think he did a really good job of writing it so that the crowd would laugh along and be like, oh, that's funny. You were supposed to be his wingman and you ended up with the bride. Ha, ha, ha. Mm-hmm. But that was really him, like, directly staring at Lila and saying, like, no, like, it's been me all along. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm regretting this. I'm kicking myself, but you do you. But I thought it was portrayed very well that he was kind of giving his last plea in a speech like that. Yeah.
And it literally was like a last plea, right? I'm like, come on, you're going to wait till right then? Come on, man.
I mean, they could have waited until at the altar the next day, too. You never know.
Well, I'm glad, yes.
And so the fact that Phoebe delivers her speech just in the privacy of their room when Lila's freaking out, I really enjoyed the moment as they're supposed to be getting in the car to go to the wedding.
Okay, again, entitled moment. I don't want to get in this black, Uber.
Okay, the drama about the car.
Come on.
The old car first.
I want this, like, expensive.
The vintage car. Yes. Do you remember why they stopped and didn't use the vintage car? I thought that was the most ridiculous and obscene thing, and I was like, why is this even in the book? This is so dumb.
I just thought she was so entitled. It did come back around to be like, seriously.
But I loved how Phoebe, like, completely told her off and was like, you're being ridiculous.
Yes.
100%. This is your wedding day. You're getting in the car. Nobody cares. They're already in the building. Nobody will even see you drive up.
Yes.
Get in the car. Yes. I almost, like, physically picked her up, too. I was like, you're going over my shoulder like a sack of potatoes.
But again, the thing that I kind of turned around was she was looking for something to, instead of just ending it. That's the only thing I think I hated, that she wouldn't just say, I can't do this.
Right. She was looking for an out. And so that's where it did come full circle. And so you come back to that first chapter and you're like, oh, she really was actually hoping something would make headlines. And so it was like, oh, woman kills herself at historic hotel. We can't get married here. That would have been perfect. So I don't know why she kept trying to stop her.
I don't know. I don't know. But it made for really great entertainment and heavy topics to be spoken about. So, yeah, I liked that moment. All right, so she starts reconsidering her plans to end her life. What are your thoughts about all of these scenes, how it continues to unfold and ends up?
I was glad that she decided to try to puke up her cat pills or whatever and just get on with life. I think that gave her a new outlook. Mm-hmm. And I loved that she was like, I like this new Phoebe. I like that I can just say what I want. And I'm going to actually like speak my mind. And I'm tired of being small for other people. And she was definitely, from a young age, taught to fit in a box. Mm-hmm. And so I think she kind of took a sledgehammer to that box.
Yes.
And was feeling it out. And I think it really was a safe space for her because she was a stranger and could really get away with that and not be judged by, I mean, I'm sure she was judged by the other people around her, but not in any way that really mattered.
Right. And it wouldn't have affected her like life at home or the life she left.
Right.
Right.
What do you think about her becoming, what is her new job? It was something ridiculous about maintaining mansions or something keeper, a mansion keeper.
Oh, yeah, the mansion keeper, where she would like keep the mansion, the nice fancy mansion.
Right. The winter keeper.
Oh, that's what
she
it
would
was.
live there over the winter and like the fact that she found that listing on Craigslist and she just happens to be a Victorianist and like can go and live in this, I thought that was amazing.
I'm not sure I would have believed that ad.
Right? Yes. I mean, she said she didn't really believe it either, but she decided to reach out because,
I mean, what does she have to lose?
Right.
Right.
And now I think that is going to be amazing. I think my problem with this book is that I didn't really have enough closure.
Because we still don't know what happened with their relationship, what happened to Juice, what happened, I mean, at all. We kind of left with like, where are they now? I don't know. Is that like book 2 possibility? But it didn't hint at a book 2.
Right.
I didn't feel like book 2 was like how it ended, but.
And I realized that kind of leaving it up to your imagination, maybe a little more magical, or like, yeah, she goes and lives in this castle and Gary comes by and then they're all a happy family. I don't know. I would like for them to just tell me, because I finished this book and like, I think we experienced a lot. I think it was kind of this, we were tossed by the waves of emotions in this book. And then at the end, I was just like,
that's it.
I feel like I'm stranded out at sea right now. I need you to kind of row me back in and tell me this has a happy ending.
Yeah. I felt like we were thrown in really heavy, lots of like great content that like was like, wow, this is so good. And then towards the middle, I was like, okay, where are we going with this? Like, there's so much push and pull. I get it. They're trying to build the background, build the story, make us understand with the flashbacks. And then towards the end, I was like, man, I'm only like, I've got like a little bit left of this book, and it's just now getting into what's going to unfold. I would have enjoyed a little bit less of the unfolding of the background and more of the Hallmark Channel ending. Yeah.
I loved that in the end, she got a new haircut, and that was like her new identity. It was like, all you need is a side bang. And it was like, yes, bang. Okay, let's go. And that she let her cut her hair on the wedding day, which no hairstylist is there to cut hair on a wedding day. They're there to put it in an updo. Like, what?
Give you a few curls.
Right. That just cracked me up that she was willing to get a haircut and that the stylist thought that that was amazing. But, I mean, has a haircut ever changed your life?
No.
No? Man, I feel like
you
can conquer the world.
I guess after you get your hair done, they do your hair, and it's so flowy, and it's like you do feel just a little bit taller, a little bit stronger.
Yeah, I mean, like changing up your look. I don't know. Have you always had long hair?
No. I actually have gone like super short, like at the neck of bob. Ooh. Maybe. My hair grows super fast. I mean, that was probably 2-3 years ago. Like, yeah. Like,
I don't remember that.
Like really short and just.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's funny is people were like, wow, that's so sassy. Like, okay, one haircut.
Right. Add a side bang and whoo. You'll be all over the place.
I mean, seriously.
It could make all the difference and make you more approachable.
I don't know about that.
It could. I've had all the way up to a pixie cut.
What? No way.
Yeah. College. Good time.
I mean, my parents have had horrible haircuts on us, but that was back in the, like, what was that lady with the super short hair, Sound of Music? They'd have all that. Yeah.
Julie Andrews. Yes. Got your bowl cut, all the good stuff.
But willingly, I don't think I could go any shorter than that. I can't imagine you with that hair. I bet you felt different.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely freeing. I wish I would have styled it more because I definitely just looked like a boy half of the time. But it's all good. I contemplated shaving my head at one time.
A little G.I. Jane?
Yeah.
That's
and not
nuts.
because I'm like alternative or anything crazy. It was just like, I feel like I could rock that.
All right.
Like, okay.
Okay.
It'll grow back. But that was like my senior year in college. And I wanted to get a job on TV after that. And so that didn't think that was going to cut it. That wouldn't look good on my resume reel.
They'd be like, oh, it's, you know what's sad is like, again, society probably would have looked at you like, is she okay?
A cancer patient?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
Unfortunately, they would do that. Okay, so we didn't really get into, but when Matt shows up, like in that moment, right before he shows up, we get a really raw moment of Juice sleeping, you know, in, I think it was her bed, right?
Yeah, she's drunk from the wedding.
Well, I know. Because she's so sad about life, about her dad getting ready to marry this entitled woman that probably would ruin a lot of her life. And then Gary coming in, and they're getting ready to have a deep conversation. And then knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Matt. How did you feel after that? Like, what feelings did you have?
I was so angry. I wanted to close the book, and I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, where, why, who does he think he is? Like, I understand she hasn't responded to a single text message, but why are you entitled to that? You walked out on her. So why do you care if she's alive? If she's, I mean, she didn't respond, so, and I think he understood that she had walked out on her job and then saw that their pet was dead. And so there were a lot of sad things. She was kicked off of his health insurance, so she couldn't have therapy anymore. Like, there were just a lot of things that I'm glad that perhaps he was able to pick up on the signs that she could be suicidal and that he was truly worried that she was still alive. But can you send a friend or like a relative or somebody? Call room service?
Do you think, yeah, he could have just called the hotel. I mean, I don't know. But,
Right. She wasn't there under a fake name. Like,
no.
just.
And he saw all the like records. See,
Right.
To me, I saw it as a man feeling like I've always had a hold of her. And then now I don't. Like, oh, I'm scared because what did I do? It's like you regret, but it's too late.
I'm still, I don't know. I feel like I'm offended that they slept together.
Yes.
I was like, oh, Phoebe.
A moment of weakness.
No.
I don't understand that because I was like, she had already really been done with him. And she had already emotionally like gone to someone else and felt how much better it could be. And then to sleep with him, like, I get it. Were they actually divorced or were they just separated? Okay. Because I can't remember if it was separated. But so, like, you were already, either way, you're already apart.
Well, he came back and said, I'm her husband.
Yeah, like, that's what I was like. And then she didn't correct him in front of Gary. Like, I get it. She's stunned. He's there. And I'm like, but part of me would be like, what are you doing here? Get out of here.
Yeah, I was angry and wanted to throw my book. Just, golly.
I know. It was.
Go back home. Get out of here. Why did he sit in the wedding? Like, you didn't come prepared for a wedding. You had no idea that this was happening. You could have sat in the hotel room. You could have sat on the beach and watched the ships roll in. Like, Why did he go?
I don't know. That was like, I didn't like that he went. Like, what's the purpose? Like, I get everybody at this hotel is here for the wedding, but you could be the one, just go.
Right. The wedding wasn't even at the hotel.
No,
Like, they
you
had to
get
drive there. So
Yes.
why didn't he just stay at the hotel and sit in the hot tub himself or go to the spa, do something else?
I don't know. That's a great question. There's no point.
That felt very strange to me.
Yeah. I didn't like him so much, so one more thing on him, I'm like, ugh.
Right. I do think Phoebe came to a pretty good understanding on page 170. This quote says, Phoebe is starting to understand that on some nights, Lila is probably the loneliest girl in the world, just like Phoebe. And maybe they are all lonely. Maybe that is just what it means to be a person. I'm like, wow. Huh. I feel lonely sometimes. Is that what it means to be a person? Like, I think we all have those moments, but I think Phoebe was able to relate her own pain in her own weird situation and perceive some of that in Lila. So, whereas I didn't really come around to Lila as much as maybe you did, I think there's still like humanity there.
Correct. Yeah. And I think a lot of the reasons why I think I came around to her is because I could see through her pain. And so towards the end, I was like, her acting of she's entitled. Yes, I get it. She probably is. But there's so much sadness there that she's trying to fill gaps with things. Like, she's trying to get married to fill a hole of sadness of her dad. And so, like, there's all these sad things that I'm like, it's got to be depths of holes that she's just trying to figure out what can make her happy.
She's trying to live up to other people's expectations.
True.
And I think that's why you see such a stark contrast between Lila in Phoebe's room and Lila with everybody else.
Yes.
And I think that's where Phoebe was noticing the differences and was like, oh, well, she sounds completely different out here with this group of people. That's not her true self. And so Lila has been putting on a mask for years, trying to be someone else. So I think that this book tackled a lot of that very well. And just, what mask are you wearing? What excuses are you using or relying on?
Right.
Like, how can you be freer?
Right. And to be honest with yourself, too. Because I did see a little bit of, not that Matt was a good guy, but in her marriage with Matt, like, were there things that she was holding back, that she was, like, holding on to? Like, I know he wanted a kid, but, like, with the whole child thing, like, did they have deeper conversations of how to fill that? Did they do their due diligence of trying to rekindle things in a different way? So it's a bigger, like, story. It's a bigger thought process than just, I'm sad, I'm lonely, I just want to kill myself and end it all. Because really, that's not the answer.
No, and that in and of itself is very selfish.
Yes, right.
And so if you are looking to connect and if you are feeling lonely, like, get help.
Yeah, there's a lot of really great help out there.
All right. I think we have brought it down a bit, but I think maybe we can wrap this up. We always talk about the book cover.
Yes.
I really like this cover. And now that I've read the book, I think I understand it more.
Yeah.
Going into this, I thought it was like, hey, peace, we're having so much fun. Like, we got the champagne, like, we're having a party. And now I think it's more of like a bye.
Right. I'm going to drink my chocolate wine.
I'm drowning in my sorrows and I'm going down underneath the water and saying goodbye. So I think it could be communicating both things.
Yes. Right. And I don't know if that was her intention.
Right.
I don't know, because like I said, when I picked it up, I was like, oh, they're having a great time at a wedding, like a party. And now I do see that. And it's sad, but it's beautiful. And it's like, it is like, I understand art in things like this.
Well, I do think that this fits the book because there is a ton of art mentioned, and that is a huge theme. So the fact that this is more of like a painting and artsy fartsy. I like that. I've been to a lot of weddings, and so this book intrigued me. And so I was curious as to what it would throw at us. And as somebody who has worked weddings, I did some research, and Alison Espach also worked at weddings. She did a photo booth, or I think that's what it had said. And strangers would just tell her all sorts of random things. And I mean, keep in mind, people at weddings at the photo booth have probably had a little bit to drink and are probably feeling a little looser. But like, I think that is very true. I've worked in photography at weddings, doing video and photos, and you are just kind of lurking. And so the idea of the wedding people, I totally understand. And so I was excited to read this one to kind of see how that played out. For my review, I guess, I say, like, I enjoyed this. I think that Phoebe was smart, and so I appreciated her perspective, and I don't think it was my favorite book, but I think it made me think. And so, and I think it's opening up the conversation, like I said, for infertility, for grief, for loss for marriage and infidelity and all of these things. Like, we need to be able to have these conversations. It makes me wonder what Alison experienced and how much of this grief was hers, and just the different, like, how does an author put that into this? I have never been that depressed that I would consider killing myself. And so I don't know if somebody who has been would read this and be like, whoa, that was not even close. That does it no justice. So I don't want to like speak to the credibility of that. But I think that she covered it and kind of opened up those topics. And so for that, kudos. Like, that's a really hard task to take. So I think that this was very interesting. I am struggling to come up with a number for this one. I think I'm going to go with a 3.9.
All right. I mean, you're right. So, like, in this book, initially going in it, you see, like, a heavy topic. She did tackle all those heavy topics so well and gently and with a little bit of humor, which is odd to me because in a weird way, but it was well done. Like, she did take those gently, understanding, like, we're hitting some trigger things that are big, heavy topics. And for a fiction book to go into the depths of being able to end this book of, let's have deeper conversations, like even our conversation here, like to really dive into some of these conversations to go, wow, that must have been sad. That must have been lonely. How could we feel as women, as a society, do better at these things? So that you're right, she did that wonderfully to open that up to kind of pull a fiction, a little bit of like nonfiction of going, let's talk about these things. Let's do better at this. Like, we can do better as a society as a whole to come alongside women and support them, whether they are the bride about to step into a horrible relationship, which I'm sure happens, or you're Phoebe really wanting to end it all. And so that, I agree. She did that so well. I struggled giving this a rating, like, where do I give it a number? In the middle, I was bored. I was like, okay, I can't, like, is this ever going to end? And then when the ending started to unfold, I was like, that's it. That's all we're going to get. Like, I wanted so much more. And so for that, I've got to give it a 3.7. So I just wanted a little bit deeper in, like I said, the Hallmark ending I missed.
Yeah, I feel that. I just wanted to know. I loved that it did circle back and that she was going to complete her Jane Eyre research and was rejuvenated to like dig back in and really analyze weddings. And I was like, okay, now I want to read that book. Like, maybe she could write the book about Victorian weddings. And I will read it. You don't have to. That's all right.
Oh, I know. Well, I know that one is coming soon, so.
we're just going to keep experimenting with these. So we're always looking for book recommendations.
Yes.
I think we have like our next couple books, maybe
Yeah.
set, but we need some recs.
I mean, it doesn't mean that we wouldn't put our next book like on hold if we got another good recommendation. So
I know. And we're busy.
we are busy.
We can't research all these books.
No, I want our listeners to tell us, like, read this. You've got to read this. It's really great. Or just check this one out. I want to hear that.
Also, with this episode, especially because we talked about so many different topics, if you know somebody who is dealing with some of these and you feel like this conversation may have the ability to help them or encourage them, share it.
Please do. I mean, like I said, this took this fiction book and brought a lot of it to light. And so if they are here, listen, we are always responding to any of your messages. We are here. Again, there's a great suicidal, I think
Hotline,
there's a great hotline that is there for you. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. Don't sit alone.
Right. Please know that you are not alone and you can keep reading.
Keep ranting.
And remember, you're so approachable.
Okay, the episode is over. If you enjoyed it, could you give us a thumbs up or leave a review?
It goes a long way toward helping us grow and meet new people like you.
Subscribe to get notified when the next episode drops.
You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook to see what we're reading next, recommend new books, and join the conversation.
We're so excited to have you on board. All right, 3, 2, 1. This week we're doing cover to cover of The Wedding People by, I was going to say Emily. See, I'm losing it.
No.
It's tired.
Take a break between
Allison.
3, 2, 1,
Allison.
and just read it. That's all right.
Thank you.
It's right in front of you.
I'll just read
You
it.
can cheat. It's not cheating.
fine,
It's
actually.
literally the assignment.
Come on, don't cheat. Use your notes. That's what I tell my kids in health class. Just use your notes for the test. It's fine. All right, 3, 2, 1. This week we're doing cover to cover of The Wedding People by Alice. Oh my gosh. How long is this episode going to take for me? Okay, let's try this. 7 times the charm. 3, 2, 1. Shut up. It's been a long day. Okay, but tomorrow morning will be even worse.
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1. This week we're doing The Wedding People by Alison Espach. Just laugh every time. Oh,
It's
my
fine.
word. All right. I'm just going to read this just like this. Not even care. See, you have the training. I don't.
Yeah.
Doesn't even bother you.
I don't know how many people are even actually watching any
67
video.
or 70,
Right.
maybe 80.